am here with just a quick guide as to what the Alliance expects of you on a daily basis and what you can do to easily and quickly accomplish this, as well as just the easiest way to go about this. I'll be following this video up with a daily kind of how-to as to what I'm doing as a player. But this video is going to be more specific to the Alliance and what's expected of you as a player. So the first thing I'm going to touch on is the raid credits or the raid tickets. This is probably the fastest way to get an alliance to grow, is by being able to launch raids on a daily basis. So obviously our raid just ended, and you can see up here we currently have enough tickets to launch both raids. They will be broken up into two categories. You're going to have your Ultimus raid credits, as well as what's commonly called the Greek raid credits. The Greek raids are going to switch out periodically, and they're going to alternate between Gamma, Alpha, and Beta raids. And the way you're going to get credits for this can actually be tracked under your daily objectives. If you look under your daily objectives, you're going to see that each player can contribute 600 raid credits for both Ultimus and Gamma raids. Now, this isn't 600 credits for each one individually, where you need to spend 1200 energy. It is just 600 energy total. The fastest way to get to this 600 campaign energy excuse me, guys. The fastest way to get to the 600 energy is going to be by using your campaign energy refreshes, and you're going to refresh the campaign energy with Power Course. So the fastest way to do this, if you go to your campaign energy, you're going to see the option to refresh it for 50 power cores. You're going to want to do this 4 times total, and you're going to stop once it gets to 100 cores. In my opinion, spending 100 cores to get the energy just really isn't worth it, unless you've got a lot of money to be able to constantly refresh your actual power cores. If you're looking to go free to play, you're going to want to stop at 50. Even if you're whaling out, I wouldn't really suggest going past 1 or 200 core refreshes, but that's going to be more towards actual individual player style. So I'm going to try to keep this specific to the Alliance. So for your Alliance contribution, refresh those campaign energies 4 times, 50 cores each, stop when you get to 100. I've already done that on a mini call, and you can see that my campaign energy is sitting steady at 578. So some pretty simple math, but I would need another 22 campaign energy to reach my 600 goal. There's a couple ways you can accomplish this. You can play periodically throughout the day. The other thing to look out for is you get free campaign energy at certain points of the day. I live in the central time zone in the United States, so my campaign energy refreshes are going to be at 12 o'clock, noon, 6 p.m., and 9 p.m. These energy refreshes are going to get you 80 additional energy, so you're looking at 240 free extra energy from Scopely, and these events are going to last for almost 3 hours. So 2 hours, 59 minutes to collect 80 additional energy, every couple hours. So I would spend this energy through campaign. I'm not going to do that just at the moment because I am going to be doing that video, what I do as a daily player, just more for the personal sense as to working towards end game content. But the other thing to touch on with the Alliance is we want the Alliance to grow and level. And once the Alliance reaches a certain level, so you look over here, once we get to Alliance level 20, player level 45, we do gain access to Alliance Wars, which is going to get you some very unique gear, as well as, really help you to be able to build that roster almost for endgame content. So the fastest way to get the Alliance up a level is once a day, you're going to want to go in and donate. Now, there's a glitch, I think, currently right now where some people of lower levels are able to donate and other people aren't. Some people are saying that you have to be level 50 to donate, and that's fine. Once you get to level 50, just make sure you are donating. The free-to-play way is going to be you're going to donate the 10K, and that's going to get the Alliance 30 XP. Growing the alliance is a slow process, unfortunately, but eventually, with everyone donating every day, you'll see us get to level 20, and eventually the alliance will max out at level 80. If you are a little more on the whale side of things, and you do have the extra cores, you can donate the 125, and this will obviously give you a little more Stark tech. It'll give the Alliance a little more resources, but it's not necessary to get the Alliance to level 80. You'll also see if everyone does donate the 10K, you will get additional Stark credits throughout the day. I would say typically with our level, depending on who is contributing what, we might be able to get to this milestone where you get the 10K in gold back. But honestly, 10K gold is not this massive resource drain, so it should be doable for all players. With that Stark Tech, as I said, it helps the Alliance grow, but it also gives you access to the Stark Tech tab, and you can use these credits to build up these team boosters. It's going to be broken down into the different traits, and pretty much every character in the game will fall under one of these traits. You can kind of go about this multiple ways. You can level one section specifically. You could focus on tech first and then go to bio, mystic, skill, mutant, etc. Or you can kind of just do it as a jack of all trades, and you level all of these to one, and then maybe you move to the next category, etc. This aspect might be good if you've got a larger roster. If you've got a smaller roster, I'd focus more on the trait you have the most of. Again, this isn't really, game breaking information. It's not the highest of boosts. On my main account, I don't notice a heck of a lot of a difference. If anyone has any numbers to show me otherwise, I'd always happy to look at that. The other thing you're mainly going to be wanting to contribute as a alliance member, we're going to have weekly milestone events. Currently, it is Emma Frost. Most of these milestone events are very dependent on the actual individual player, and you will see those located as solo. The solo events typically, depending on what the milestone is, will either be a day or two. Occasionally, you'll see one that's longer than that, but one that is consistently longer is always going to be the Alliance milestone. And the Alliance milestone is going to run for the course of a week on the US time zone and dateline. It's going to be from Wednesday to Wednesday. And in my time zone, again, I said I'm in Central Texas, or well, I'm in Texas, but in the central part of the United States, it ends at 7 p.m. for me. So obviously, based off of your time zone, that might adjust a little bit, but it's based off of what the Alliance is contributing via points. And you can kind of scroll through and see where you fall on points. Now, right here, I am number 10. I am actually one of the weaker members of the Alliance, so this contribution is pretty good on my part. And I just wanted to basically share how I was able to achieve higher points with a weaker team. So the scoring is broken down into four categories. I'm not going to touch on the last category since we don't have access to it at the moment. But once we do gain access to Alliance War, I'll do another video, just a little update and a reminder on this. The first one listed is to win a blitz battle. I don't typically factor this into a point scheme just because blitz battles, in my opinion, you have a 50-50 chance to win or lose. So odds like that, you don't want to factor those points into your math as to what you can be contributing, but you should be running blitz. Don't get me wrong on that. But for the actual participation, I don't think of those 10 points as kind of make or break. So I will be focusing mostly on the battle and raids and the battle and arena. So both aspects of these points are win or lose. So it doesn't matter if you win a raid fight or you win an arena fight or if you lose both those. You're still going to get 30 points and 85 points respectively. So with the raids, I would say at the lower levels, the goal should be have 5 full teams that you can run through a raid. In order to do this, obviously you'll need 25 characters total. Currently, I only have 4 teams. I am working on the fifth to be able to contribute a little bit more. But if you do have your full 5 raid teams, you'll be able to do a minimum of 5 fights a day. With those 5 fights, you'll get 30 points each fight, or each day rather, in Ultimus, and then you'll get another 5 fights to do in your Greek raid. That'll give you a minimum of 300 points per day in raids. Over the course of the 7 days that this event runs out, you'll get 2,100 points. Again, like I said, this is win or lose. I know for weaker teams, it can be a little disparaging to basically go into a raid fight and your team gets wiped out in like 3 turns. It sucks as a player. It's not always going to be that way. You're going to get to the point where you're going to be clearing multiple nodes. But for the time being, even though it doesn't really do much for you as an individual player, it still does a lot for the Alliance. The second aspect you're going to want to look at and you're going to want to complete on a daily basis is you're going to want to do those arena fights. So like I said, win or lose with the arena, you're going to get 85 points per fight. You do your 5 arena fights per day, that's 425 points a day, and then over the course of the week, you're looking at almost 3,000 points just for arena. Between those 2 game modes, for our weaker players, you're easily able to contribute just about 5,075 points. Now, looking at this, again, it's new information, but we've got very few people that are in that mark, even myself. And that's probably because I'm only able to do those 4 raid fights a day. And we still do have, I believe, just about 2 days before this event ends. So, in theory, I should be able to get myself to 5,000 points before then. But as an overall, as an alliance, if everyone was able to contribute at least 5,000 points a week, we would be looking at 121,000 points, almost 122,000 points, which, if you see down here, would get us in between milestone 13 and milestone 14. For stronger players, you might be able to do more than 5 raid fights a day, and you might be able to do 10. As your roster gets bigger, do as many raid fights as you are able. The more fights you do, the more points we get. And like I said, this is going to help us at the moment unlock Emma Frost, who is definitely one of the best characters in game currently. She's a monster on war defense and really ties in the Marauders team. You're also going to get these orange gear raid orb fragments, which are end game gear. You're going to use these orb fragments to unlock orange gear, which is going to get you to Dark Dimension 2, Dark Dimension 3, and even Dark Dimension 4 when that mode comes out later. The other big thing that you're going to get with this is your T4 materials. These are your end game skill points. You're going to need a lot of these T4s to level up your abilities. I'm talking 200 plus for specials. I think it's 222 for the ultimates, and I want to say 280 for the passive abilities. So these are probably one of the hardest resource in game to farm, and just by doing raid fights, you can help us get towards those. Periodically, it's going to change. It might just go to a point where we just get gear once the Emma Frost event is over, but there's always an alliance milestone of some sort. That's it for this video, guys. I am going to be following this up with a new player guide as to what I do on a daily basis to build my roster, progress my way towards Dark Dimension 1, Dark Dimension 2, eventually working on an Ultimate 7 team, and just kind of all those aspects. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about anything, reach out to me either in-game, mini call, on Discord, it's going to be Khaleesi. And you can also reach out to your alliance leaders, Lego Man, Octopod, And again, any questions, guys, just feel free to ask. The most important thing to take away from this video is the Alliance is just mostly looking for participation. You don't need some meta level team or collection power to participate. You look at this here, my strongest team is 15K, and I've only got a collection power of 41,000. But I'm still doing my part to help this alliance grow, and I think everyone can do the same. Again, hope you enjoyed this video, and look for that new player guide to follow this one pretty shortly. Thanks for watching.